a lot of content on social media. In my spare time, I like painting, like cooking. I enjoy my life very much. As I also like, my expectation is I want to join this club to improve my English and my presentation skill and my speaking English. So that's why I want to try and do not be so shy and just open myself, leave my comfortable zone and join this kind of interesting club and see more people around the world.
You are at the right place indeed. So welcome here, enjoy and participate in the table topic session, our second part of the meeting, to feel more confident. All right, welcome here. Also, I would like to invite to introduce Munir himself again, now officially.
Good morning, everyone. I am Munir. I'm Munir Aboud, and I am one of the tutors in the English Language Teaching Center in the University of Sheffield. I have been teaching since 2008 in the University of Sheffield. I teach academic skills, and I was actually mainly working with engineers, but I also do work with arts and humanity departments. So I actually worked with electrical, electronic engineering, automatic control, chemical, biological, mechanical, civil, aerospace engineering. It's a lot of actually diversity here at the university level. We, of course, teach during this the academic skills, referencing, paraphrasing, presentation skills. And of course, the services we do are free for our students in the University of Sheffield. In addition to that, I have contributed for a long time in the outreach activities for the university, representing the University of Sheffield with supporting the communities. And mainly I was working with refugees for the past 8 years. And I help students do their IELTS exam. And I proudly say that I actually helped many to achieve their target in the IELTS test as well. And I'm proud that I scored even 8 or even more. That was really a very good thing. And recently I'm actually working with a group of friends. I was introduced to the club by Tetiana, a person I'm really proud of, as with the amount of determination she has and the dedication she shows during the classes. So this club was introduced to me by her, and I said, no problem, I will be honored to join, and at any capacity, a guest or a contributor, I don't mind. That is absolutely fine. On the personal level, I am a football fan. I support Liverpool, and if you don't like it, that's life. Sometimes you possibly like the team, you don't, but I am a lifelong football fan for Liverpool. And also we are not doing well recently, so I don't want anybody to tell me what happened with Real Madrid or last night they just drew. So that's it. So I'm very glad and honored to have to talk to you and see you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Munir. Actually, we support Dynamo Kiev or Shakhtar in Ukraine. Completely different clubs, so no problem that you support Liverpool. I don't know about Kevin, but we'll discuss it afterwards. Okay. And we also have a guest. It's Abdelaziz. Please unmute yourself and introduce yourself shortly.
Where am I?
Hi, we can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please introduce yourself.
Great. I thought I was unmuted, but good that that you can hear me. Yes, I'm Abdelaziz here. I've just been sent a link to this meeting by Alicia, who is in the group. She's the princess, unicorn. She's here. She's the one who invited me to join you. And I'm very happy that I managed to join, to be amongst you. I'm a communication skills course coordinator here in Saudi, in King Abdulaziz University. I've been teaching this course, communication skills, to engineering students for more than 10 years. And I've also been invited to attend some of the Toastmaster clubs here as well, in English and also in our local language, which is Arabic. And I really love being there. And there's a lot to learn in terms of speaking, in terms of presenting, leadership, and so on. So it's a wonderful activity, a wonderful opportunity for people to improve their skills in communication and leadership. And I'm here with you today to see how things go and learn more and contribute if if the opportunity comes, inshallah. Okay, so back to you, and enjoy the meeting, and enjoy being with everybody here. Okay.
Nice to meet you, Abdulaziz. Happy that you are with us. So participate in our meeting, enjoy the speeches. And before I pass the stage to our today's Toastmaster, who is Random Princess Unicorn, I would like to remind everyone about rules, the small rules. They are not obligatory, but you are likely to stick to them. First of all, as I have already said, please huge that you support the speakers. So you can use reactions like that or like that. You can show that you applause or show that you applause like that. Don't forget to smile, listen very carefully, and do not forget to take part if you are not on the agenda. And even if you are on the agenda, please do not forget to be the volunteer during the session of the impromptu speeches. Having said all of that, I pass the stage to our today's Rainbow Princess Unicorn Toastmaster, Alicia Curtis. Huge round of applause.
Thank you very much, Natalie. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Please repeat back if you are saying good morning. Yes, good morning. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And good evening for those of us who are on the other side of the world here in Australia. So Dugu, we are here in Australia, in Sydney. I'm in Sydney and she's in Melbourne. My name is Alicia Curtis, Distinguished Toastmaster and current District 100 Program Quality Director, calling in from Sydney, Australia. I'm also the Program Quality Director for a district out of the USA, Southern California, USA. But tonight I like to have fun when I go to Toastmasters, and that is something I don't always get to do because I'm always having to be serious. But tonight I wanted to have fun and I wanted to ramp it up and I wanted to enjoy myself. So why not come in character? One of my favorite characters, Rainbow Princess Unicorn. And hey, I even brought my little Rainbow Princess Unicorns. I have about 6 of these little toys all around scattered around my house. And yes, I even have more. So they will come out and the virtual background will change throughout this Toastmasters meeting. I always like to enjoy myself, and I think Toastmasters, sometimes we get a bit too serious, ladies and gentlemen. We get a bit too serious. So we are going to have fun tonight. We are going to enjoy ourselves. We are going to be here for entertainment. We're going to be here to be connected. And above all, we are going to be here to make sure that we can transform our lives, transform your lives, and work together as a team. Now, I'm going to introduce my tag team, the Timer, the Arcana, and the Grammarian. And I will do it in that particular order because that's the way that I've always been taught. So the Timer tonight is Alexander Marinchuk. Alexander, are you there, sir? Please welcome our Timer.
Hello, thank you. I am the timer and I will track the time of your speeches, and during the evaluation session, I will tell you the time of your speech. I will briefly recall the basic rules. The green card means you have time to give a speech. The yellow card means you have time, but it's better to hurry because time will up soon. And the red card means you have to finish your speech because time has passed. I wish you the green time frame. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Alexander. So just as a heads up, the two speeches are 5 to 7 minutes. The table topics are 1 to 2 minutes and the evaluations are 2 to 3 minutes. So please make sure you watch the time because a good meeting starts on time and a great meeting ends on time, ladies and gentlemen. Our next role taker is our R counter, Vivara Potachevska. Please welcome Vivara to the virtual lectern. Vivara.
Yay, hello again, everyone. Today we have some really interesting topic that it calls Rainbow Princess Unicorn. And you might be really excited to talk about that. You might think like, oh, princess, they are so like, oh, just amazing, and unicorns, they are. But you better to stop here because you have me this morning, this evening, this afternoon, who will control all your and just words that you repeat too much. So during your unprepared and prepared speech, pay attention on this part. And at the end of the meeting, you will have a report how many times you use and the other another part of word. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vivara. Thank you. Yes, the R counter role, my favorite role in Toastmasters. The next one is also another one of my favorites, and that is the grammarian. And calling in, I think, all the way from either the USA or Canada, I think it might be Canada, is Janet Adams. What is our word of the day? I'm dying to know because this is a ridiculous theme tonight. So we've got to have an interesting word to capture this ridiculous theme. Please welcome Janet Adams.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everybody. I'm coming to you from Delaware on the East Coast of the United States. Our word of the grammarian role is to introduce a word of the day and another role. I'll explain the word of the day first. The word of the day today is sparkle, which means to bring light, to have glitz and glitter. So try to use the word of the day whenever you have a chance to speak today, and I will put it into the chat. Also, I will be listening for uses of the English language that are not so good, and I will try to give you a better suggestion. And I also listen for great uses of the English language and let you know what I'm hearing. So I will be listening very intently today, and I am always impressed by the English skills of people who are speaking English as a second language. And back to you.
Thank you very much, Janet, all the way in the US in Delaware. And yes, please make sure that you sparkle just like my little sparkly unicorn right here so that we can actually sparkle and shine and be bright little stars tonight, this morning, or this evening, wherever you may be in this lovely world. Are we excited for our first part of the meeting, the prepared speeches? There's like a pie. Think of Toastmasters like a pie. This is for the guests who have never been to Toastmasters or for those who have been sometimes to Toastmasters. A Toastmasters meeting is like a pie. Prepared speeches, impromptu speaking, and evaluation. So we're going into our prepared speeches now. We have two awesome speakers today, and they are Andrii Tymoshenko and also Tetiana Bilous. Please welcome Andrii Tymoshenko. So I'll just introduce a bit of his speech for you so that we have a bit of a hindsight of what is actually going to be happening. So Andrii is going to be doing from level 2, project 2 in the presentation mastery path. It is effective body language. Now, the project purpose statement for Andrii today is the purpose is for him to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he uses nonverbal communication when delivering skills. Please welcome Andrii Tymoshenko with Do You Like Beer? Do you like beer? Andrii Tymoshenko, take it away, sir.
All right. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Say yes or raise your hand. All right. Well done. So here we go. Today, we have, again, a hybrid meeting. I hope that my speech will be useful for both sides in front of the computer. Sometimes it's very hard to start a conversation. It's very hard to break the ice, to make a first step, and to talk with the person you would like to talk. Your thoughts, like rabbits, they jump in your head and you want to catch one of them or maybe two, but you catch zero and you end up with, "Hi, how are you?" And you can agree with me that is nothing wrong with this sentence, because this sentence is taught from the very first English class. The more you talk with people, the more you notice that some people have different approach. It feels like they're already able to catch their rabbits and conduct and start a better conversation. They have this skill to easily find a good question starter. But what about a name for your speech, your topic? Is it easier to find than a starter question? We can debate, but I think both of them, they need creative approach. They need observation. You need some spark to come up with a proper question or topic. Let me draw an example. Before this speech, I had several ideas in my head, but one conversation with a guy on a language learning platform defined today's topic. He approached me, "Hi, do you like beer?" You may find this question is very odd because it's out of the blue. But when you get 10 questions a day, 10 questions a day, "Hi, how are you?" You wouldn't find this question weird at all. So I get, interesting. I should answer to this person. And "Do you like beer?" is a closed-ended question. There's only two answers, yes or no. We know it from school, we learn it. Yes, I do, no, I don't. But here at Toastmasters, we have quite different approach. We have a session that is called table topic session, where you can practice delivering and giving prolonged speeches. And let's say that "Do you like beer?" was at today's table topic session. And that's how I would reply to this question. Beer, a four-letter word, a drink that with a long history is highly consumed in all parts of the world, in numerous tastes, and most of us have our favorite kind. For example, today I picked dark beer. It has roasted malt taste with a slightly bitter aftertaste. And it reminded me of my beer experience in Iceland. With a population of 350,000 people around, it has 27 brewing companies. So people there, they know how to drink. That's why government controls and doesn't allow supermarkets or shops sell alcohol. You can buy alcohol only at a local liquor stores or at a bar where you can enjoy beers from local breweries. To mention, I also took a tour to a local brewery company where you can see how the beer is made, to see it with your eyes. And it's always good to be there on the spot, to see and enjoy a cool beer like I'm enjoying it right now. And to sum up what I want to say with my speech, you have to be observative to see what's happening around you. Maybe you can get some ideas from your environment. Be creative and be humorous so you can spice up your question or your topic. And to finish, when Natalie asked what is my today's topic, I said, "Do you like beer?" And her reply was, "Intriguing." Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrii. Let's give him a huge round of applause and a beer. Yes. Let's all sparkle. Let's give him a huge wave a big applause. Now, if you could please fill in the lovely link that our lovely VP of this wonderful club, none other than Natalie, has put into the chat box. If we could have a minute of silence. Alexander, if you could give a red light at the 1 minute, that would be greatly appreciated. And then we'll go on to our second speaker. So please fill in the forms, the Google form that has been put in the chat. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I was sitting here like this was like the ultimate minute of silence. When you go to a contest and it's like you're waiting for that minute of silence when the judges. Thank you, Alexander. It was definitely like that. We now go to our second speaker, who is none other than Tetiana Bilous. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I do apologize if I'm not pronouncing that right. Is that correct, Tetiana?
It will be strange. No, Bilous. But it
Bilous.
doesn't matter.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. So Tetiana is delivering from level 3 and it's project 1 and it's from engage your audience with humor. So the engaging humor path. So the purpose statement is for Tetiana to determine her style of humor and apply to a speech that centers around a central message. It is 5 to 7 minutes like the previous speech. Please welcome Tetiana Bilous with What's the Story? What's the Story? Tetiana Bilous. Take it away, Tetiana.
Thank you, Rainbow Princess. What's the story? I hope you're doing well. Know that when I first time came to Dublin, I think that everything around me is strange. The taxi driver used the left side of the road and all my way from the Dublin airport to my new home, I was sitting with closed eyes. I was waiting for an accident. The nature is strange. Everything around me in March is blowing. All trees, bushes, in the park there were a lot of fields with narcissus. The people are strange. They are walking in t-shirts and shorts when outside was +12. In a couple of months, everything become routine, and I also start to speak like them. Dublin, does it, done. The boss number 14, the Cusacks pop, my customer, etc. But I was completely confused when my friends said to me, what's the crack? What it means. I felt like a man from the anecdote that I will share with you. The situation was in Kyiv. In Kyiv, on the main street, Khreshchatyk, there were 2 men from west part of Ukraine. We call them Gutsus. And suddenly a foreigner approached to them. He asked them how to get somewhere in English. The answer was, what? In German? In French? And the foreigner left them upset. Then one of men said to the other, look, Petro, so intelligent and clever man. He knew 3 languages. And Petro's answer, yes, I agree, but how it helps him? What the crack? It means, what's the story? Now, guys, I try to understand, do you have Irish roots? I will ask you, I prepare for you some of phrase, and I will ask you, and please unmute yourself and describe what it can be. The first is dank is yours. Dank is yours. What it means, how you can use it in sentences. Anybody? Dank is yours. Please tell me something.
No idea.
I'll tell you if you want, but I'm an English speaker.
Kevin, do you know? Please explain what it
Of
means.
course, donkey's years is saying something's going to take a very long time. I'll say donkey's years where I can speak Russian.
Yeah.
Not donkey's ears, donkey's years. Donkey years.
Yes. Yes, I can say that I have not seen Kevin donkey's years. Great. The next is legged. Legged. 2 words. Leg it. It is more easy. Natalie?
I have some guess. Like
Please.
it's, I guess, I might be wrong, but it might be like do it or feel it or be through this experience or like that.
Approximately. Leg it refers to moving fast. You can leg it to work, to the supermarket, etc. The next, lob the gob. Lob the gob. Lob the gob. Kevin, do you know it?
Lob the gob, did you say?
Yes.
I think that might be an Irish expression.
Yes, it is Irish.
Yeah, it's not an English one.
But what it can be?
Speak up, perhaps.
Okay, I will tell you. Love the gob, it means to kiss somebody. It is just yesterday you met your ex. Did you love the gob? The other, I think that you should know it. It is the head of. It the head of. Anybody? Liza, it's the head of.
I have only like my first association, something you miss, you wanted to get out, to get away from this, something like this.
Okay, yeah. For me, it is good that you don't think that it means to kill somebody. That it is not means that you are a black widow spider. It just means to be very angry. In the 1 year here, you know that I thought that I know everything, but suddenly when I asked my friend, how was your war today? I heard good, but I was up to 90. Up to 90, if translate to English, it means I was busy. And my favorite phrase, it was what I heard, it was that yesterday I had a pint of black stuff and crack was 90. It does not mean that somebody bought a dose of crack for 90 euro. It just means that he had a pint of Guinness, it is Irish beer, and it was fun. Guys, my today's message for you is remember that in our life, communication is cornerstone. Try to understand each other. Try to understand other people. Even you can explain or you can understand what they say. You don't have words. In general, my suggestion for you is that the gestures language nobody can sell. Use it. Communication is the main thing that we have. Thank you.
Thank you, Tatiana. Let's give her a huge round of applause. Yes, communication does become miscommunication, and it's very interesting how it could be all around the world. Now, just wondering if we have put into the chat box the link for Tatiana's speech today. If we can just, yep, there it is from Natalie. Alexander, if you can give us the red light at the minute, please make sure you give some sparkling comments to Tatiana. Thank you. Thank you very much, Alexander. And thank you to our two speakers. Let's give them another sparkling round of applause. Bit of rainbow princess unicorn glitter and all that stuff that gets to be fun. Thank you, Andrii, and thank you, Tatiana. I think we've both appreciated, well, I've appreciated, I'm sure the rest of the crowd have appreciated two great speeches from two of our native speakers from the Ukraine. So thank you to both of them for delivering. Well, that's the prepared speeches, ladies and gentlemen. We now go into the impromptu speaking session, and that is the table topics session. Today, table topics will be delivered by none other than Victoriia Baliuk. Please welcome Victoriia to the virtual lectern. Please make sure you also use the word of the day, sparkle, and I'm sure Victoriia is going to sparkle with our table topics. Thank you, Victoriia.
Thank you so much, guys. And I'm really happy to be today here because we are going to the one of most sparkle parts of today's meeting, the most vivid parts of today's meeting, because we'll talk today about vivid moments in our lives, about fairy tales, miracles, etc. Therefore, I'm going to wear my glasses because of the sparkles of today's meeting. So I'm going to share with you rules that we have for today's meeting. And firstly, I want to remind you about the word of today's meeting that we have heard today. This is sparkle. Don't forget to use it today. And also pay your attention to Alexander. He is our timer today. So I'm really asking Alexander, just raise your hand in Zoom to be seen by each participant of today's meeting, and it will be really helpful. Don't forget about our time limits because your speech have to be not less than 1 minute, but not more than 2 minutes. It is really important because if you talk about contests from public speaking, we have to be in certain limits of time, because if your speech will be more or shorter, longer or shorter, you will be disqualified. So if you want to know more about contests from public speaking, you can ask about this Natalie at after party or write her directly on Telegram. Nice. And the first thing that I want to tell you is question that is beyond our table topic session. And do you believe in miracles? If you believe in miracles, maybe in your life, just raise your hand, your digital hand, like it had Alexander. If you believe in miracles in fairy tales, you can also raise your hand, raise your digital hand. I mean, this is only for statistics. You don't have to answer the question. And if you believe in miracles in general, you can also raise your hand. But if you don't believe in miracles, just red minus in our chat. Right, thank you so much, guys. And I have prepared for you 12 questions. But you have to choose your question. You have to name the number of the question you want to answer. And if you want to be a volunteer today, if you want to answer the question that you will choose, you can raise your hand. It is not scary. I know that maybe English is not your native language. Maybe you're afraid to speak. Maybe it will be your first impromptu speech. But all you need is practice. And you will practice in it. It will be getting better and better. And also you can receive feedback from our technical experts, from our evaluator of the today's topic speech, today's table topic speeches. So if you want to answer the first question, just raise your hand, digital or physical hand, and call the number from 1 to 12. Okay, I see the first volunteer, Natalia. It's so nice. What will be the first number you want to choose?
7.
7. Okay. 7777. Tell us about the most vivid event in your life that changed your view of the world.
I should have done it another way. How much times you told, how many times you told yourselves those things? I should have changed it. I should have done it another way. I shouldn't have said it. I should have said another phrase. I should have been at that place, or I shouldn't have attended that event. Very often we blame ourselves for doing something or for not doing something, thinking that that very event, that very moment would make us change our lives and would change our lives, and we would live in our quality of life would be better, and we would live in more wealthy way and so on, and we would be more happy. Actually, I don't believe in such approach, and I do not accept such approach that one very moment can change our lives. I think that our lives consist of a lot of steps, not really one step, not really one turning moment. And all those steps, all those moments, they teach us something. And yes, one day we might realize that some event influenced our lives. Some event made us change something, made us think in another way, made us be more efficient and effective. However, there are a lot of such events in our lives. And that is why, despite I adore the movies with some mystical events, or with some like butterfly effect. Probably you saw that there was one very moment, and the guy was trying to change that one very moment, and his life was changing. However, I think there are a lot of turning moments in our lives, and we should just have our approach with an open eyes and just move towards our goals and move forward with open eyes and freely and really confidently, and doing what do we want and what we have to do.
Thank you, Natalie, for your answer. Don't forget about your digital reactions, about your hands, and pay attention to the ways that Natalie shared your opinion or view or sparkle view, because she had an opening part, body, and conclusion. If you don't know how to do this, just try to do this, and after it will be getting better and better. And the next question maybe could be yours. So you can raise your hand and I will tell you the question because we have a lot of different interesting and curious questions for today's meeting. But if today will not be a volunteer that would like to answer, I will ask one person that I would like to answer the question.
Kevin.
Okay, I'm looking at Volodymyr, Ukrainians, and I understand that he would like to answer the next question.
Yes, and I think I need to choose a number. All right, 7 is
Yeah.
done, and my number 4.
4. Nice choice. Because your question is, do you believe in miracles? Tell us about a miraculous experience you have had in your life.
Well, of course, one of the miracles in my life that I'm here in Toastmasters. And by the way, this year will be my 5th year in Toastmaster, in Dnipro Hills Toastmasters Club. Yes, I appeared in 2018 in summer. Thanks to whom? To one of my friends. Unfortunately, I have not seen him for a very long time and even don't know is he alive or not because he was seriously ill with cancer. And by the way, it is not just my friend, but the friend of my mother. He lives in Canada, in Montreal, and he was a member of Toastmasters, and he recommended me to visit this club. And I just started to somehow to, I don't know, to learn what are the clubs here in Kiev, and I just found out about Dnipro Hills because it is convenient for me at the time because now I'm working as a translator in the office, and I have only one time in the weekends to visit this club, and of course when it changed my life here in the club because in 2019 we have had such elections like fantasy elections where I played the role of the Dark Lord Sauron, and it changed my life. I even dedicated my post to it, and by the way, I can even share it with this post in our chat that you could also read it and find out some interesting facts about me. And by the way, during this time, I arranged a lot of meetings. And in one of our meetings, a miracle happened. Yes, a miracle happened. 2 loving hearts met each other. I mean, our members, Eugene Gorelikov and Silvana Kristianovich, met in the meeting, which was dedicated to the ancient Greece time and arranged by me and Lesa Yurchishin, who was Gerodot of the meeting. And yes, and now they're a couple, and Eugene Gorelikov is now a warrior. He is fighting in the army of our Ukrainian armed forces. And I hope that a miracle will happen and he will come to us and we will all come together to celebrate our future victory. And I believe in that miracle that Ukraine will win, and we all together celebrating it in the future. Thank you all, and glory to Ukraine.
We all believe in this miracle, and we believe that it will become a truth. Героям слава! And don't forget about your digital reactions, about your hands. And I see our next volunteer, it's Kevin. Thank you so much. What number would you like to choose?
I'll choose number 2.
Okay. Why do some people believe in miracles and others do not?
Some people believe in miracles and some people don't. See, they got the people that are optimistic in life and people that are not optimistic in life. People get a half a pint of beer in a big pint glass and they say, why isn't it full? I say, thanks for buying it for me. You know, it's got different reactions to things. So maybe people that believe in miracles see something that happens and says, well, it's a miracle. And the other people say, well, I expected that to happen. It's about how you set your mind. You know, the way you set your mind through your life determines how you feel. Only you can make that change. I'm going to go back to a time some years ago, 5-6 years ago, when I'd left my wife. We had serious debt. We was seriously in debt, so much I didn't have any cash, and I was unhappy. I was very depressed, fed up. My friend said to me, "Come up to a place near Sheffield." Everyone's from Sheffield, so if I say Sheffield, you know where it is, somewhere near Sheffield, and I'll pay for the whole weekend. And I said, "Well, great." And I was driving up there, and then on the radio, I heard a song, and I listened to the words, and it said, it's a song by The Verve. It said, "Happiness, more or less, it's just a change in me, something in my liberty." And I thought, that song's telling me that only I can change how I feel. It's a miracle. But other people would go, nice tune, and they wouldn't change at all. So really, it's really about how you perceive things. Now, I'm not a person that believes in any god or gods or people. So miracles happen for me from you actually spotting and seeing that it's there, and believing that actually you can change the world, or you can change your life, or maybe help other people, which would be a nice thing in the world, wouldn't it? So what I'm going to suggest you, ladies and gentlemen, do now, going forward from this very mini speech, look at things that happen. Even simple things like someone turns the telly on and you hear a message that could affect you. Look for what is good in the world, and you can believe that's a miracle, but change yourself by the things that you see and do good to others. It's a miracle. Slava Ukraini.
Thank you, Kevin, so much for sharing your view and from such powerful conclusion. We have to learn a lot from you. And also I have seen the raised hand from our guest in today's meeting. I believe that I will pronounce your name correctly. If I will not, then you can say how it is. And the name of this participant, such sparkle participant, I believe it's Zhu.
It's me. Please,
Yeah.
Zhu. Yeah.
Yes, okay.
I will choose number 6 if it's 6 is available.
Yes, it is available. What lessons can be learned from the bright and dark sides of fairy tales?
I didn't follow your questions. Could you please?
I can write the
Again?
question in our chat.
Okay. What lessons can be learned? Sorry. How to understand the fairy tales?
Fairy tales, it is like legends or stories that can be done in real life. Or if you don't know how to answer this question, you can choose the questions that was before, because I understand it could be difficult.
Okay. I understand this question. What lessons can be learned from the bright and dark side? I think everything have bright and dark side. And from my childhood, I saw a lot of these stories. And when I see the bright things, I feel the world is really, it's friendly and it's nice. And this is, I think, the most beautiful things and the stories I read from the book, and I just full of happiness, and I'm looking forward to grow up. And then when I grow up, I feel the world changed. I experienced a lot of different things during my work and during my life, and there's things is not like you want it. Sometimes maybe it's dark side, but I'm still want to see see some little sparkling stars are looking on my ways and can give me a little bit of hope that I can live more relaxed and more wonderful life. So I think this is no matter bright or dark, and this is life, and this is just telling me that life is not always like one side, and it's always two sides, and you have to accept it, and you have to learn either from the bright or from the dark. And this is, I believe that no matter what kind of side, and both of them, I can accept it, and both of them are really good. And I think this is my opinion.
Thank you so much for sharing your opinion. We have to do like this with our hands and to take some digital reactions. And I have a question to you. Was it your first impromptu speech? Or it wasn't?
Sorry?
Was it your first impromptu speech or improvisational speech? Yes.
This
oh
is
my
my
gosh.
first.
It was wonderful. Really.
Oh,
I really like your
really?
conclusion. Yes, it was.
Thank you. This is my first time to join the club and my first time to have the speech.
I really like this, and I believe that you will hear a good feedback from our experts and from later. And I see other participants that would like to answer the next questions, and it is our Toastmaster for today's meeting. What number would you like to choose?
I'll go for number 5. Thank you.
Okay. Why do people find inspiration in fairy tales and legends?
Thank you very much, Table Topics Master. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone seems to find a feel-good fairy tale story as inspirational because, like Taylor Swift sang, it's a love story. Yeah, baby. Yeah, it definitely was a love story for many people who really wanted to find that love in man or woman or whoever you wanted to fall in love with. I don't know. I don't find inspiration in fairy tales at all because I'm sick of hearing about falling in love like Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, and if you die, then you have to wake up with the apple because you had the poison apple. It seems to be that the fairy tale just continues on and on and on. Anyone here watch Disney? Anyone here like watching Disney movies? Am I the only Disney fan here on Planet Toastmasters tonight? Yes. Everyone seems to have the same story in Disney. It's either a young girl or a young male, and we all seem to find love, true love at the end. Well, if I had to find true love, I would say that I found my true love and my fairy tale story with Peter. I've brought him up many times, but I do find that Peter is my fairy tale story every time I go onto Facebook. Now, people wonder why I find him inspirational, other than the fact that he's the most useless Olympian of all time. That's what I want to say. He's the most useless Olympian of all time. He has won no gold medals. He has won no silver medals. He has won no bronze medals, but he's been at both the Winter and the Summer Olympics. And even better, recently, I found out he wrote a motivational book, 65 pages of it. I am not inspired, but he is a fairy tale living here with us tonight. I love him on the back of my virtual background, and I will let him be my fairy tale story. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care about the Disney rubbish. I don't care about the other fairy tale story. That is my fairy tale story, and his name is Peter, and he is from Tonga. And he is definitely what Taylor Swift said. It's a love story. Yeah, baby, yeah. Back to you, Topic Master.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. And I really like your way to present your view with such visuals. It's so nice. And I can see our next volunteer. It is Varvara. Varvara, which number would you like to choose?
I guess number 3. Is free for now.
Okay, how do bright events affect a person's life or affected your life, and what can be learned from them?
I didn't really catch the first part of your question.
Okay, I can write the question in our chat, but The main point is to tell about your great events in life and the lessons that you have learned from them.
Hey, thank you for this question. Some people may think that our life consists only of white and dark sides, but there's actually not a big amount of people that think this way. Much more people think that life is more like a mix of every color, so sometimes it's hard to understand which episodes of our life were for sure bright and which episode of our life were for sure dark, because sometimes our dark sides, as we think at first, Sonra, sorry, I just started talking Turkish. Okay, never mind. Then it just, we figure out that it's actually a bright side of our life. Because on this dark side, we've learned something new, we grow up as a personality, and then we think about this time like, okay, it wasn't that bad, because this dark time brought me that I become a better speaker, for example, that I became a better version of myself at the end. But still, bright events are pretty important it's important to have in our life. For example, the more simple way that I feel the bright side, the bright events, is, for example, some celebration. It's usually a bright side as a bright side, because it must consist only of some positive emotions, positive actions, and it's important to have these celebrations in your life. And even psychologists suggest us to celebrate every, even stupid celebration, to make our life be a better. Thank you.
Thank you, Varvara, for your answer. And in fact, we gathered today to become the best versions of us. And don't forget about digital reactions in Zoom and about your hands. And I saw a message from Andrii. He wanted to become a volunteer today, and we have pretty easy questions for you, if you're ready to answer them.
Tell me what numbers are still available.
Okay.
Could you please tell me what numbers are still available?
1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
1, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, let's start with number 1.
Okay, nice question. What wisdom do fairy tales contain, and how can it be applied in life?
I didn't catch the first part. Something about fairy tales. What wisdom do fairy tales contain, and how can it be applied in real life? It's a good question, because wisdom exists everywhere, in everyone's speech, in everyone's piece of art, piece of writing, everywhere. It depends how you treat it. You think it's recreational, or you think it's some thought-provoking. If you think some thought-provoking, you will see it. But if you think it's recreational, then it's recreational. It just depends on how you view your things. Some people, they may think these table topics, the Toastmaster sessions, they're just a group of people who do something. But I see them as a part, as a place where you can not only develop your personal skills, but help others to develop their own skills. And it's something to do with a fairy tale, because our life is also a tale. Maybe not a fairy. Some people's life, it's a horror story. Someone, it's a comedy. Someone's, it's a drama. But it depends on how you apply knowledge that you learn in your life. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your attitude to this. And also don't forget about your digital reactions, about your hands, because are you like this? And we have only 2 places for our volunteers. Only 1 place, okay? Only 1 place, and who will be the last for today's table topic speech? Who want to be a volunteer? Because we have curious questions, and some questions are pretty easy. And if there will be not volunteer, I will ask persons that I would like to answer. And I see Tetiana. Are you ready to answer the next question? Sorry, but we can't hear you.
Which one, Tatiana? Is it me?
Yeah, it is you.
Okay.
Okay, we have 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
8, 9. I want 9.
9. Have you ever experienced an event that you will never be able to explain? Tell us about it.
Actually, this is very interesting question. I think maybe probably this is meditation, or maybe traveling to some spirit travelings, to go to some interesting parts of Ukraine where you can see some interesting world. But this is not only what you can see, but also you can feel. This is this feeling you can have when you visit Carpathians and also other places of Ukraine. Sometimes you can experience this feeling at the sea, especially when every time of your life you went to the sea and you dislike the sea. You think, oh my God, what am I doing here? I don't like it. It smells like a fish. I don't like it. It's windy, it's cold. And when you are old enough, or maybe not so young, not so little, you go to the sea which you choose by yourself, and you so, oh my God, it's so cold, but I'm so happy. The sea is so wonderful. Oh my God, this is something unbelievable, amazing. It's happening with me. Oh my God, it's almost frost, but I will go to that water and I will have this photographs of me because I really want to save this moment of my life, and I'm really happy. So I think this I can say about experience which we have only for us, but also we can share this experience with other people, and every experience is not the same for every person. So from such travelings, we have our personal experience, which also change us for the better. Thank you.
Thank you, Tetiana, for sharing your sparkle experience, your personal experience. And now we will go to another part of the meeting. And of course, don't forget to monitor our chat, because in the chat will be formed to vote for the winner of today's table topic session. Maybe it will be you.
Thank you very much, Victoria. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Victoria a huge round of applause. I enjoyed the table topics, and it definitely was sparkling. It definitely was shining. I'm sorry that I haven't kept the Rainbow Princess Unicorn thing on. It is almost 40 degrees Celsius here in Sydney at the moment. And yes, it's almost 11:30 at night. And yes, it is that hot here in Sydney. So I've had to take off the very hot outfit. With that being said, I will now hand over to our general evaluator, Nando Miranda. Nando will take us through the final part of the portion. Sorry, we've got a vote.
Yes, we're going to vote, and general evaluator evaluates only at the end of the meeting, 3 minutes.
Okay, awesome.
So we just move into two evaluators, and you.
Excellent. All right, I will introduce Nando at the end. So we'll now go into our evaluators. Please welcome Kevin Baggs, who evaluated our first speaker. Please welcome Kevin, who evaluated our first speaker, Andrii. Thank you, Kevin.
Right, well, good. It's still good morning for me. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever you want to call it, WDN or whatever, W3 or whatever. So, Andrii, it's actually always a pleasure to evaluate Andrii, because I like this man. I don't know why, but I do. And he's always full of confidence. Right, the first time I met this man, he was, well, I could be the best here. I probably am the best here. Let me go and speak. And of course, he wasn't the best there, but he was fantastic, right? So it's always a pleasure to evaluate someone. So the first thing I'm going to say is about what I saw here with Andrii. He was still confident. The confidence hasn't gone. He's still got the confidence, and he believes in himself, and that's actually, never let that go. Never let that go, because that's the thing that I think defines how brilliant you can be. So let's think about this is supposed to be about body language. And I'll speak a bit more about that in a minute, but I'll say that the pace of the delivery was good. I could understand every word, it was coming through correctly. So I mean, by the speed of delivery was good. Sometimes people get, when they're not confident, they get faster and faster and faster until you can never hear what they're saying. But the pace of the delivery was good. I'd like to see a few more pauses. So there's a lot of interesting stuff being told here. We've got facts about Iceland. I never knew these facts about Iceland. You couldn't buy beer, unless you go to a proper shop, and there's he gave us a history of beer as well. So the facts was another commendation. So let's think of a couple of improvements for the speech. Firstly, this is about body language. Now, if he'd watched me when I was doing my table topics, he would have seen that I moved the camera and I stood back so you could see my whole body. It's not much to see, really. It's rather large, but I could see. You could then see all my gestures. Now, we did see his gestures. He was very close. We just saw some of the hands coming up. We certainly saw some good expressions on the face. He's got a good set of expressions. And so the body language from the face came through very, very well. My second recommendation, and I know that he'll be able to look this up because he's got my book, by the way, still available at Amazon, if you want to check it out later. And he asked some questions, like, he gave us this, do you like beer? That question was there. He was asked this question. That's called an anticipation loop in many ways, but he never closed the loop at the end. Does he like beer? Why was the man asking him this question? I still don't know the answer to those questions. And when he asked that conversation happened, we went, well, where was he? Why was the man asking? Does he really like beer? And we never got those loops closed. So you can start an anticipation loop and intrigue the audience, finish it, or they'll leave unsatisfied. So they're my recommendations. But actually, I like the fact that it was a bit of dialogue or monologue coming through there. I've lost the timer, actually. Where is he? I like the vocal variety that was in this speech. I've lost the timer. Okay, I'll go on quickly. Go on with this then. So yeah, basically, I liked the speech. I thought it was intriguing. Actually, as Natalie said, it was an intriguing speech title. Next time when you put a speech title, don't put the "you," put the full word in, or we're going to think it's something about texting or something. Just a bit of an odd thing. I was thinking, why did he put the "you" in there? But overall, as usual, Andrii didn't disappoint. Goes on the stage, he's confident, and if you are confident, the audience is always going to be confident in you too. So keep going, Andrii. Keep smashing it. Well done.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Alexander, just wondering if your timing lights are working, because I didn't get to see the timing lights either. So remember, green on 2, yellow on 2.5, and red on 3, just for the evaluators. And maybe if you could please raise your hand and put yourself back up into the top left-hand corner, just so that our evaluators and timer arcana grammarian can also see. Thank you very much, Alexander. Can everyone see Alexander? Just making sure. What I'll do, I'll actually highlight him for us, spotlight him for everyone, and I'll also spotlight Pekka. Please welcome our second evaluator, Pekka Kanerva. Thank you, Pekka. Take it away.
All right. Hello, everyone, again, and especially Tetiana. Thanks for a really sparkling and entertaining speech. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start from the end of your speech, where you gave the message of your speech, which was about the importance of understanding people and the importance of communication, because this is going to be the sort of centerpiece of my evaluation today for a slightly unusual reason. And the reason is that because we are online, sometimes the technology fails us. And in this case, for whatever reason, whether the issue was at your end, Tetiana, or at my end, or somewhere in between on the internet, I was not able to hear the audio very well. So now you can have a good laugh at me when I give the rest of the evaluation, because what I'm going to add, my comments about your speech, it might be total nonsense because some of the stuff I simply didn't hear, even though I'm sure you said it pretty clearly. Okay. So let's look at how your speech was. You started, first of all, you had a very clear structure. I commend you for that. Good stuff. You started with a story, always good start with the story. So well done there as well. After that, you talked about, or within the story, how strange the Irish people are. Now that's always good stuff to talk about. The strange things about different nationalities and to joke about those. After that, I think you switched to Ukraine and talked about 2 Ukrainian guys and 3 different languages that they either knew how to speak or didn't know how to speak. This was the part that I sort of missed, and that was probably a fault at my end that I didn't get it simply. After that, you went for the interactive part of the speech. And here I really liked it because, first of all, it's a demonstration of innovation and resourcefulness from the speaker to have this sort of an interactive session inside a speech. And secondly, because interaction with the audience is always good, involving the audience, engaging them. Actually, your speech project was about engaging your audience with humor. And then at the end, to end your speech, you did something that we very often forget when we tell stories. We forget to tell what the meaning of the story was, but you didn't forget that in your speech. You said that the message of the speech is about trying to understand people and the importance of communication. Something that I thought that you could think about for the next time to make it even better was that there was a really great chance with all of these funny Irish expressions to do the humorous part of the speech. And I think you did a lot of that, but some of it might have been lost with the issue with the audio quality. But you might want to ask from the other people in the audience if the humor there worked or if it didn't. But all in all, great speech. Keep up with the good stuff. Thank you, Tetiana.
Thank you very much, Pekka. And that was our second evaluator. Thank you very much to our 2 evaluators today, and they were Kevin and Pekka. We're now going to go to the reports. The R counter today was Vivara. Vivara, how did we go with our umming and ahhing? Were we sparkling today with the R counter report? I'm dying to know.
Okay, now you are ready to hear the report. So I'm going to start off with prepared speech. And there's actually one common thing about Andrii and Tetiana's speeches, because during your first part of speeches, you was really good from the counter point of view. Your speeches were really clear, but on the second part, some troubles occurred, some troubles happened. So Andrii had 5R, and Tetiana had 4M and 5R, but those R were really short and almost invisible. Also, Andrii have had some distinguishing feature, some habits. I mentioned these habits about 2 times, that while focusing, you're repeating the previous words of your speech. So maybe pay a bit more attention on this thing. Then we're going to our unprepared speeches. Natalie, she had 2 M, it's like Then Volodymyr, he had about 8 A, about 1 and 1 R, but it's called like, you're talking like in R, so it's article, but it's an article longer than it should be, and it just transformed into an A. What A counter is looking for. Then Kevin had about 3M. Then it was Liz. I hope that I pronounced it correctly. Sorry. It was the first unprepared speech. My big congratulations for this. But you had some difficulties. But of course, you will improve this side of your speech in your next unprepared speeches, but for now you had about 6M, 7M, and 2 Then our Toastmaster for today, I mentioned anything. Maybe either I was too engaged in your speech, or there was actually really good that I didn't have time to notice this stuff, and I was just fully in your speech. Then Andrew, there were 2 M, and Tetiana had the 1 M. And that's all from my part.
Fantastic. That was very detailed. Thank you to our wonderful counter today. And last but not least, well, second last but not least, is our sparkling grammarian. How did we go with the word of the day? Sparkles. Were we sparkling and shining away, or were we not sparkling and shining away? Please welcome Janet Adams.
Yes, there are a lot of bright moments today where the word of the day got used. You used it many times. Andrei used it. Victoria used it 3 times during table topics. Our guest from China used it in her table topic speech. Very good. So we had lots of bright uses of the word sparkle today. Thank you for that. Other things that caught my ear. I heard the phrase, "We'll explain you that." The better would be, "We'll explain that for you." I heard not correctly. A better phrase would be incorrectly. I heard, let's see, I'm in trouble with, I heard the phrase, "Your thoughts are like rabbits." I thought that was very catchy. I enjoyed that. And then also catching the rabbits, catching the thoughts. That just tickled me. I enjoyed that. In the beginning of a sentence, I heard to mention it or to mention that, and it would have been better to say in addition to. Let's see. In the second speech, I too had a lot of difficulty with the audio. It was a big reminder to me that I'm going to be traveling to England in the summer, and I will have to be listening carefully, even in England, because the vocabulary can be very different, the dialect, the slang. But I would like to tell Tetiana that when you say what it means, it would be better to say, "What does it mean?" or "What is the meaning?" That would be a better phrase to introduce that slang phrase. I heard happy to be today here. It would be more correct to say happy to be here today, to transpose the time and the place. I heard we will be more happy. Probably we would say we will be happier rather than using the modifier. We would use the word happier. I heard things is not like. We would say things are, that they're correct, the verb. In Kevin's evaluation, I really enjoyed the phrase, "Keep smashing it." That was an interesting phrase to use. In Pekka's evaluation, I love the phrase demonstration of innovation. That just had the alliteration of the phrase. I really enjoyed that. And that is my report. I return the stage.
How can I forget our table topics evaluator, who is sitting here nice and quietly all the way in Melbourne from Swinburne Toastmasters. Please welcome Dee, because I can't really see your name correctly. I will learn it. Thank you, Dee.
Thank you so much. I'll start with Natalie. So I met you once only today, but I really enjoyed how you captivate the audience very quickly with your vocal variety and also use of hand gestures. That they were all great. You also had two phases in your speech, and the first part you showed us your excitement, and the second part we could see you lowering your voice with how you don't agree with the first point. It was very great. I think what I would suggest would be pausing a bit more so that we could take it in more, especially in those 2 phases in between. If you pause a little bit more, I think that would add so much. And I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correct, but Bon, is that right? The second speaker, was it Bon?
Volodymyr. The second one was Volodymyr. It's okay.
Yes,
It's okay.
thank you. What I really liked about your speech was your authenticity and your engagement and comfort level. So you kind of captivated all of us with your journey and the examples from your own lives and stories. I think what would add more to it was using your vocal variety. For example, you said miracle happened. You could just increase your volume. Maybe that would kind of add more to your speech, but it was great. Thank you so much for sharing so many of your personal stories. And Kevin was our third speaker. Of course, I really liked how you used the space so comfortably. You stood up and you came closer to us. You went further away during your speech. It was great, and we really kind of were with you all the time. I think the same for you, like pausing a bit more, because there were a lot of content in it, changing our mindset, your personal stories. You gave us good suggestions at the end. I think a little bit more pausing would help us to kind of take it all in, but it was great. I really enjoyed it. And the next speaker was Liz, if I'm pronouncing correctly. And I heard that it was your first table topic. So congratulations. It was really good. I really enjoyed hearing stories from your childhood. You had very contrasting stories. It was very hopeful when you were little, and then it became like a dark story started coming up. So I really liked the contrast, and I really liked smile on your face all during the speech. Maybe in the second part, when you were telling us a bit of like dark stories, would be more kind of different facial expressions, and pausing the smile at those points would be great. And our next speaker was Rainbow Princess. I loved it. Was so much fun. I really enjoyed listening, and you also engaged us asking questions like anyone who watched Disney. That was really good, and I could hear the disappointment in your voice as well. So I think what would help is a bit more like pausing as well. It was a very kind of active all the time. It was very good. And the next one by Barbara, I think you really exemplified how we can structure a speech in that little short period. You explained everything perfectly. You told us why behind things, and also you gave a lot of examples. Like you said, bright things would be celebrations, and I really liked hearing those examples. Like maybe you could engage us more with a little question in between. That would be helpful. And the next speaker was Andrii. That we again heard a lot of explanations like recreational versus thought-provoking. They're all like, there was so much clarity in your speech and a lot of voice variety as well. I think using more hand gestures or standing up would add more to it. And finally, we had Tetiana. I really liked the content of your speech, meditation, travel. There was a lot of humor. And I really liked your vocal variety. I think you could use more facial expressions as well, like hand gestures or things just to make it more, like adding more flavor to your speech. So thank you so much. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Back to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you very much, Dee. Thank you very much. Now we will go to, okay, so the Best Table Topics Award is Kevin Baggs. Kevin is our Best Table Topic speaker for today or tonight. Thank you. All right, excellent.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And our timer tonight or today, this morning, this evening, this afternoon, wherever you are in this world, because it is very frustrating when you sit in the evening space, is Alexander. How do we go with the time today, Alexander?
Okay, yes. I started from prepared speech. We have two prepared speech. First from Andrii, 4 minutes, 56 seconds. And second from Tetiana, 7 minutes, 38 seconds. The next we have table topic session. And so I just read the name of participation and their time. First, Natalie, 2 minutes, 49 seconds. Second, Volodymyr, 2 minutes, 57 seconds. Third, Kevin, 2 minutes, 70 seconds. Fourth, Zoo, 1 minute, 57 seconds. Five, Princess Unicorn pseudonym, 2 minutes, 17 seconds. Sixth, Varvara, 1 minute, 46 seconds. 7, Andrii, 1 minute, 20 seconds. And 8, Tetiana, 1 minute, 43 seconds. And also we have evaluation session. I am sorry for first evaluation session. I thought that I don't need to track time for evaluator, so I miss first evaluation, and second for evaluation, Paka, 3 minutes, 40 seconds. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Alexander. All right, our role takers have completed all their roles. We're waiting for the man who is waiting and sitting very quietly. He's been sitting very quietly for the whole meeting. Please welcome Nando Miranda, who is calling in from Finland. Thank you, Nando.
Greetings, everybody. I am honored to offer you this general evaluation on your club. I've heard great things about you, and you did not disappoint. I'm going to tell you about what I liked and what I would recommend. I love that everybody was here on time. Somebody opened the meeting up early. We had a lot of small talk going on, and that was wonderful. We have a great international crowd here. Natalie opened up the meeting. Before the meeting began, we had some really good email correspondence. And I love the fact that you use the guest introductions at the very beginning of your meeting instead at the very end, which is what some other clubs often do. So kudos to you on that. Alicia, Toastmaster of the day, lots of fun, lots of costumes, lots of glitter. Your sparkling personality showed through. So job well done in managing a well-run meeting. For the technical team, the timer, grammarian, and Alexander, Varvara, and Janet, I love the fact that you were very descriptive in telling us exactly what your role does. So often other clubs will skip through that or expect that the audience knows it already, but you took it and really did it by the book. So kudos to you. The speakers were very, very wonderful. Andrei, yes, I do like beer. And Tatiana, your interactive audience participation speech was unique and very brave and very bold, because you never know what kind of audience you're going to get. So be cautious for next time, but job well done. Table Topics Master, Victoriia. I love the fact that you had so many different topics. You had numbers 1 through 12, and you were really on point to describing exactly what the process is, especially for our guests. They're very diverse. Some of them were easy. I would suggest to you that instead of asking for volunteers, point to your victim and tell them to come onto the stage. At Table Topics, we all have the opportunity to speak, and we should all be raising our hands. I apologize for not raising my hand. I was scared, but that's okay. It happens. But consider, if you don't get volunteers, just point out your victim. And if they say no, go to the next one. You'll have many more speakers that way, but you accomplished 8, and that's wonderful. One recommendation for you, Victoriia, is to repeat the topic twice, but I like that you posted it in the chat for everyone to see. Evaluators, both Kevin and Becca, professionally well done, very inspiring. You pointed out what you liked and what you would recommend. Consider to try to balance that out a little bit more, to recommend more than to tell us what you liked, because that offers value for everyone in the audience. But job well done. I'll continue on with the recommendations. Overall, yes, the general evaluator can run the entire session if he or she is inclined. It depends what your club actually does. So consider trying that out, just making sure that the general evaluator knows in advance that he or she is going to host the entire evaluation session. I think we have a Zoom master here, if it's Lesia or not, if she is the gatekeeper. it's good to identify that, maybe also on the agenda, just so that we have some clarity to know that somebody's there controlling who comes in and then making sure that everything is running properly. I would recommend that you consider trying to get this club to aim for 3 prepared speakers, because we always have club goals, a distinguished club program to try to aim for that. But having 3 speakers will really enhance the kind of quality of meeting that you have. And also you can assign a reserve speaker, someone who jumps in at the last moment in case somebody calls out sick. So it's easy to have a speech in the back pocket, so to speak. I would also consider recommending that you actually make it a bigger event for offering the awards at the end of the meeting, make it part of the club business. Perhaps do a little drum roll, and the best table topic speaker is Kevin, and make it really a ha-ha moment. There's an opportunity there to encourage people to be more, like gung-ho friendly when it comes to awarding our fellow Toastmasters. Job well done, Kevin. I also would recommend that the timer actually is the last person to speak on stage, because it would be nice to know what my time is after this. If Alexander, you could send me a message, that'd be great. Overview, all of your sparkling personalities have shined through. This meeting was very great fun. 2 thumbs up from Helsinki. Keep on rolling on. Each of you really brought something to the table here, and Slava Ukraini. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nando. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a real pleasure to serve as your Toastmaster of the day, or the Toastmaster of the evening, the Toastmaster of the morning, wherever you may be calling in from any part of the world. Remember to sparkle, remember to shine, remember to have fun. And that was what we were aiming to achieve today. Ladies and gentlemen, did you have fun? Did you all have fun? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
I want to give you all a high five. So in 3, 2, 1, let's all give each other a virtual high five. 3, 2, 1, high five. And that means I hand over to Natalie. The virtual gavel is now yours. Thank you, Madam BPE. If you could please close the meeting.
How to show my hand? Taking the hand from you. Thank you so much. I would like everyone unmute yourselves, guys, and give a huge round of applause to our today's Toastmaster, because it was really glittering, finally, sparkling, I said the word of the day, meeting. And thank you very much, Alicia. Woo! That was really awesome. That was great. And you made us smile throughout all the meeting. And all those 2 hours, we were smiling, we were having fun, and we were feeling like special people, special persons. I felt, talking about me, I felt like that. So hope everyone felt as well. So before I announce this meeting adjourned, I would like, please mute yourself so far for a minute or 2. Of course, we will need to take a picture, final photo. I guess our Zoom master, Lisa, would do that, or me. Who's better? Lisa, who's better?
We will see later. So we just
okay.
smile.
Okay. Okay. And before we take in the picture, I would like to remind you that we have our online meetings once a month approximately, to gather all of you here to get to new people, and to get to know new people, and to meet with our members who are not in Kyiv, and so on, and to share our experiences, because in different areas of the world there are pretty different formats of Toastmasters meetings we would like to try probably in the future. That was said before. And also we have a practice of having the hybrid meetings, and the following meeting, that is in 2 weeks, is going to be hybrid. That means that every one of you can join and enjoy our contests, because on the 12th of March, we are going to have 2 contests, evaluation contest and the speech contest. that is why you are all invited. There are a couple of free slots for the judges. So if you are an experienced Toastmaster and you would like to be a judge, welcome. And if you are a member and you still hasn't signed up for the speech contests to be a member, or to be a member of the evaluation contest, please just contact me. You may contact Lisa or our President Vadim, but me first, because I'm the person who signs everyone up. Just contact me and I would sign you up and I would help you with everything, with your speech and so on. Okay, having said all of that, I would like to ask everyone to switch on your cameras. I see that most of you have already done it. Probably Abdelaziz can do that. If you can, that would be great. Oh, guys, I see your faces. Thank you very much. And Lisa, finally, who takes the picture? Okay. Are we done?
Take
once again. So you might show virtual reactions. So we're done, right? Okay, thank you very much. Now I announce this meeting adjourned, and now I announcing our next part of the meeting, that is unofficial part of the meeting. You might stay, you might go if you need to, and just let's have our after party, just talk, have a talk, just exchange the our impressions and so on. And how are you doing, guys? How did you like the meetings? Probably guests, those who were here for the first time, would like to give some feedback. How did you like it? Were your expectations met, or your imagination, I mean, you thought your expectations were different, you expected something else? Probably someone wants to tell it to us. Sasha has to go. Sasha, thank you for being with us here. See you next time. See you in 2 weeks, I hope.
It would be good to hear from Abdelaziz, because Abdelaziz is actually, whilst in Saudi Arabia, he's going to be, I'm going to be helping him start a club, the first club ever in Algeria. So this is a moment for him to come. This is the first person who's come out of Algeria to a Toastmasters club somewhere else in the world. So Ukraine gets to feature tonight in this experience.
So you mean to invite Abdelaziz to say something? I see that Abdelaziz posted twice about the evaluators and how they evaluate. I also appreciate when evaluators evaluate that way, so give really friendly feedback. Probably, Abdelaziz, probably you would like to unmute yourself and to say a few words, or you have some questions we can.
Am I being heard now?
Yes, you are heard.
Okay, great. Yes, I mentioned a number of positive things I liked a lot about Toastmasters, and especially your session today, especially when the evaluators actually look for everything positive. They spot every little positive thing or good thing about the speech or the performance, and they mention that. That's very encouraging to people to improve, to develop, and to feel, good about it. That's one thing I loved so much. The second thing is, as I mentioned, when the evaluators themselves get evaluated, because that's also a speech, that's also performance. Yeah. So it's good for me as an evaluator to know what I did well, where I can improve, and so on. Yeah. And also the whole atmosphere, keeping it friendly, keeping it, positive and so on is very encouraging, and I love that. Actually, we're trying, Alicia and us here in Algeria, to try to start a Toastmasters club here. So hopefully we'll get there, inshallah, and we'll do something as good as you're doing, guys. Wonderful, and thanks again to Alicia, to everybody for having me here with you today.
Welcome to our meetings again, and you can evaluate me, at least me. Probably someone else wants to volunteer. Invite me for some of your first meetings. I would take